we can live almost in two different worlds. One is the level of form, right? We're materialists. So we're focusing on the particle, we're focusing on matter, and we believe that everything's cause and effect, and that every day, pretty much, the world happens to us. And sometimes it's a bugger of a place to be. The other framework, the other world we can live in, is from the level of the field, from the level of quantum physics, which is saying that what Einstein said is that the sole governing agency of the particle, which is all the solid stuff here, right? All the form, what governs that, the sole governing agency of the particle, of matter, of the atom, is the field. And the more you start learning about quantum physics and consciousness, there's a law known as collapsing the wave function, which is the observer effect, which is when we look, the act of consciousness observing actually collapses the field, the wave. So the field is the unified field, or the 0 point field, where everything material comes from. So everything solid here comes from that place. And what the quantum physics experiments have shown is the act of observing, the act of consciousness paying attention, collapses it from a wave into a momentary event that we call a particle. So that's the science behind how we can actually manifest. It requires intention, and it requires, well, what I've found anyway, it requires daily meditation. Like, you have to keep showing up and showing up and showing up. But you can't just have an intention or a thought by itself, because it has no energy. So you have to marry that intention with a high vibrational emotion. You have to feel overwhelming gratitude, like flowing out of your body levels of gratitude. And then when you mix the gratitude, that emotion that's congruent, because gratitude is obviously just like love and compassion, it's aligned with the true self, it's aligned with who we really are. It has nothing to do with survival behavior. So when you match that gratitude with that intention, and then you let go, you've got to surrender, get out of the way, then you can manifest. An event can show up in your future that you created, so you happen to the world. You happen to the world. And the reason you've got to get out of the way, the reason you've got to surrender, is because if you're running around looking for it, like, oh, where is it? Where is it? I've got that manifestation on its way. I said I wanted a pen with like a little duck on the end, and then you're looking for it. Now you're back in the known. You're in the predictable universe. You're becoming a materialist again. And that's the mechanistic, clockwork, Newtonian dimension of space and time, where we're bound by entropy and everything is cause and effect. So this morning when I came out of my meditation, that's a long way around, but I ask every morning. So before I do a pineal gland activation, or before I do any of that sort of stuff, I always ask for something, because you want to start to build up like communication, right? Like a language between you and the field, because the field is actually consciousness itself. It's a loving consciousness. It's loving us into form. It's regulating the systems of the body beyond our conscious awareness. It takes care of all that for us, and we don't ask it to do any of that. So this morning, I asked for a sign, because I always do that. And as some of you may know, I used to have a show car, 1977 Celica Mustang back, that was my pride and joy. And it was, that was me as a materialist. That's when, I was always polishing it and taking it to car shows and winning trophies and all of that sort of stuff. But I haven't thought about the show car in a long time. It's been years. And I came out of my meditation. I said to Fee, let's go get breakfast. And we literally get to the next set of lights, and there's this like old rotary you know, souped up car there, and I say to Fee, oh, it reminds me of the show car. Literally, we turn right and pull onto Brighton Road, and right there, right alongside us, pulls up what it may have actually been my show car, I don't know, but whether it was or it wasn't, it's kind of irrelevant. You see, I sold it 12 years ago, and I heard that it got bingled, but it rocked up. It was the exact same color, had the exact same carbon fiber tail lights, with the number plate sleeker, which funnily enough, that was the number plate that the previous owner had on it, and then I changed number plates on it. So, but whether it was or it wasn't, it's not the point. It's irrelevant. It's the sign. It's that if you start building up this communication, this dialogue with the field, and you do it through meditation, and the reason you do it through meditation is because when consciousness is no longer focused on the particle, on the matter, on the solid stuff, okay, pure consciousness by itself, when you're no longer in this dimension of space and time, where we have length and width and height, okay, and everything's bound by entropy, from order moving to chaos, we get older moving through linear time, and we break down, get old, and we die. That's this dimension of space and time. But when consciousness is no longer focusing on the particle, your consciousness merges with the field. And as I said, in that place, you can be anyone, anything, anywhere, in any time. Because in that place, every different version of you, every single version of you, the infinite potentials they talk about in quantum physics, they're stacked up on top of each other. They're stacked up in an infinite now. But the only thing that can go there is consciousness. You can't go there hanging on to your pain. You can't go there as a victim. You can't go there thinking about your possessions. You can't go there even with the identity of your name or your job title. The only way to actually access it is through completely relinquishing everything that binds you to the material world, and then you surrender to a higher consciousness. And in that place, in Einstein's field, as I said, every different version of you, every future potential is stacked up on top of each other. And consciousness is what can pass between them and select an event in your future. And if you do it right, and then you let go, you surrender, and then go about your day, in gratitude, and just be in the now, you might just find that you just walk into it. You just stumble into it. So yeah, I'm going to do lots more videos on specifically the manifestations that have been coming for me over the last 6 or 7 years practicing this. But that's it for today. That was my little sign from the field that I asked for, and it took less than 30 minutes to show up. And as I said, I haven't even thought about my show car in so long, and bang, right there to my left I turn, and there it is, 1977 Mustang back Celica with carbon fiber tail lights with the number plate sleeker. So there you go. Anyway guys, much love, peace.